Hey everyone, how are you? Brendan Snyder here. So we are at the end of 2024. It's time for the annual countdowns. I've already done my top 20 best albums of 2024, which means we're now up to the point of doing box sets. And there were so many cool box sets of archival material that came out this year. And it seems like they're digging in the vaults and they just keep finding killer stuff. And so each year we're getting more and more from our favorite artists, and I'm loving that. But right now, we are going to do the top 10 best box sets of 2024. So join me for that. However, before we get into it, if you are new to my channel and you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do. Also, turn on notifications because then you're going to get updates on all this sort of stuff. When I drop these new videos, you're going to find out about it and stay up to date. And it's going to be a lot better, right? Okay, let's dive into this now because I'm really excited for this. I'm one of those ones that loves box sets with all the extra stuff, and especially if there's archival, meaning unreleased material in it, that's gold for me. So we're going to dive into a box set that does do some of that right from the start here. Coming in at number 10, Michael Schenker Group. Is It Loud Enough from 1980 to 1983. It is a 6 CD box set. And it comes out like that, and you've got all the different albums and things in it here. In fact, one of those unreleased ones is right on the top there. But, all the info's on the back, so it's a cool box. It's a little different than those clamshell style ones. I like these kinds. 6 CDs, as I said, though, 66 tracks included on here, and it covers 4 albums. Michael Schenker Group from 1980, MSG 1981, Assault Attack in 82, and Built to Destroy in 83. You get both the US and UK editions, so right there, that was awesome. But the best part of this is the bonus disc that's in here on demos and alternate versions. And getting a bunch of material like that from this era, for me at least, made it totally worth picking up this box. So these 2 discs down here have that archival stuff. So I already owned these up front here, but getting that extra material made this box set worthwhile for me. And that's kind of how I look at a lot of these. If you don't own these albums, then these kind of box sets are even better for you guys. This next one here was a cool one, a surprise, and just all around very nice that the label, I guess, it's not really the band anymore, did this. So coming in at number 9, Motorhead, The Lost Tapes Collection, volumes 1 through 5. Now, if you are a record store day fan and you go to those events, then you know that all of these albums, volumes 1 through 4 at least, had been released on vinyl only for record store day. And us CD fanatics weren't buying, well, I didn't chose not to buy them, but I really wanted them on CD. So the fact that they gathered them up on CD and then added in one that had not been available, volume 5, which was recorded in 2008. So even if you did buy those, you were getting something new. And if you're a vinyl fan, they did release that 5th one on vinyl separately, so you could just go buy it. So even if you'd bought the 4 vinyls, you could go get that. But if you hadn't bought any of them, like myself, because you were just praying eventually they would make CD releases, we got the box set. And it was awesome because the shows that are in here span, we have 84, 95, 98, 2000, and 2008. So a really nice cross-section of 20 plus years in here, 24 in fact, almost a 25-year span, which is really nice. And the quality of these was great. I thought, initially when I had heard lost tapes kind of thing, that it might be kind of scraping the barrel, but it's not, man. There were very good quality shows in there. This next one was a really long-awaited one, and while it didn't have a ton of unreleased material on it, I know for those of you that couldn't get these albums, this became a big box for you guys. So, number 8, Black Sabbath, Anno Domini, 1989 to 95. So this box set features 4 albums from the Tony Martin era when he fronted the band, having taken over for Ray Gillen, who had taken over for Glenn Hughes, who had taken over for Ian Gillan, who had taken over for Ronnie James Dio, who had taken over for Ozzy Osbourne. Okay, so Tony Martin coming in doing these albums. Headless Cross in 89, Tear in 1990, Cross Purposes in 94, which was my first album that I bought of the Tony Martin years, Forbidden in 1995. And while there were 3 bonus tracks added, because I have to say that we had all hoped for a ton of unreleased material, but legally it came down to the issue that they were not allowed to release anything that hadn't already been released before under the name Black Sabbath. So we just got some B-sides and Japanese bonus tracks on here. But what was really cool was that they remixed Forbidden, this album, and that remix turned out to be so good and totally worth getting that box. But if you didn't have those albums and it had been out of print for you, then again, this box set, which comes with a poster, it's got a book inside it, a tour replica. I love those things. And it's one of these lift top style ones like this. So, you know, you get the stuff right there. That's that tour book that's in there. It was a really cool box. And of course, they've been doing those other ones. So this is gonna fit on the shelf nicely with those. And I gotta have it in there, even though I already owned all 4 of those Tony Martin era albums. But the new remasters are fantastic. And now they've released those individually. So if you chose not to buy the box set when it first came out, you can actually go buy any of these 4, including the remix of that album. Coming in at number 7, Dire Straits Live 1978 to 1992, an 8 CD box set. This one is one of those clamshell style ones where all the discs are in here. You got the book on top, and then the discs are just right in it like that. So pretty standard kind of a box set that they've done when they're gathering up all the albums by an artist. In fact, I think there is another one that has the studio albums, and this was doing all of the live ones. What made this one here so enjoyable for me and why I loved this was not only getting a number of live albums that have been out of print for a while, because this is an 8 CD box set, but it's got 4 live albums, live from the Rainbow Theater in 1979, which is a previously unreleased show. So that's in here already. You get Alchemy from 1983. You get On the Night, recorded in 1993. Sorry, it was recorded in 92, but released in 93. Then you get On the Night EP, the Encores, which came out in 93, and I think was like a Japanese only thing. In fact, you can see it right there. That was new to me in here. And then Live at the BBC 1995, a posthumous compilation. But the thing that I really liked was that the On the Night concert album, which was a single originally, has now been expanded to a double. So you get an unreleased show, you get a show that has been expanded to a double album release, you get an EP that was like Japanese only, and it's all gathered up and it sounds cool and it spans the whole band's career. And these are the kind of live albums I like. Yes, I did like this box set. Even when I talk about not liking live albums, there are certain ones I do like and certain ones I don't like. Okay, next up, coming in at number 6, Jimi Hendrix, Electric Lady Studios, a Jimi Hendrix Vision. This is a deluxe 4-disc box set. It has 3 CDs in it, and it has a Blu-ray that's included in this. The 3 CDs, this part of it, not that, 38 tracks on it, or 39 tracks, 38 of it previously unreleased. The Blu-ray itself has a documentary on it, and then it's got the 5.1 surround sound mixes of those tracks. But what was cool about this box is that a lot of this stuff has been released in various versions, but they've usually been edited and enhanced in some way with other people playing on it, other, side guys and stuff like that. This is just Jimmy, Billy Cox, Mitch Mitchell, in the studio. This is the exact stuff they recorded, not enhanced or changed in any way. Finally released exactly as it was played in the studio. So maybe you know the songs, but you've never heard them like this. And I was not going to buy this box, and then I heard it, and it totally changed my mind. I am loving the stuff that is on there. All right, coming in at number 5, Alan Parsons Project, Pyramid, 1978 album release. So this was their 3rd studio album. It was a concept album, obviously about pyramids, Pyramania, right? That was really big at the time when this came out. The Tutankhamun exhibits and all that stuff that were traveling around the US and the UK was just creating a pyramid craze. So they totally cashed in on it with this album here. and it's now been expanded to a super deluxe edition 7-disc box set. It's in a slipcase. You got a hardcover book, and then you've got all the discs and everything in here. So CD1 newly remastered version, and it really does sound phenomenal. I love this new remaster better than the previous one that they had. CD2 in here is the Eric Wolfson Songwriting Diaries. It has 12 unreleased songs on it. Then CD3, bonus studio recordings. CD4 is also bonus studio recordings, just variations of these songs and the developments of them all the way through. And the Blu-ray itself has the Dolby Atmos mix. This is the first time they've done that. And you get the 5.1 surround sound remix from 2024 that Alan Parsons did from the original tapes. And you get a 2024 stereo remaster version in here as well. It was put out by Cooking Vinyl. I think they did a fantastic job on it. Love stuff like that. There's the backside. You can just see all the content and everything that was part of this beautiful thing. Plus you get a bunch of little memorabilia pieces in this folder item. And I like that stuff too. I don't want just the music, although the music is what matters. But if I'm buying a box set, give me some cool stuff that goes along with it. Okay, coming in at number 4, Whitesnake Into the Light. This new box set from them spotlighted David Coverdale's solo career, right? It does say right there, the solo albums, which, you know, if you just read this and you say Whitesnake, the solo albums, wait, that makes no sense, right? But what this is, it focuses on the 3 solo albums that David Coverdale did. Whitesnake in 1977 and North Winds in 78, and then Into the Light from 2000. All 3 of them turned into Whitesnake albums now. So same thing he's been doing, where he's gone back in and embellished and enhanced and remixed the Whitesnake albums. He's now done it to these, and he decided to turn these 3 into official Whitesnake albums. So they sound fantastic. They're amazing. Don't worry, you get the originals in here. He hasn't done anything to those. So you get the original albums, but you also get the 2024 remixes with the new art that now says Whitesnake on it and everything like that. I just thought it was very cool, and I loved what he did to this. I've been really, really enjoying all the box sets that David Coverdale has done like that, where you get a new version, a new way of hearing something. And in the particular case of Whitesnake, they are one of the artists that is just doing those remixes right, where I have not been disappointed once hearing the remixes that have come from the Whitesnake camp. And they've done it, I'm just looking at my wall now, they've done 3 previous, I think. This one being the 4th version that's got remixes on it. So maybe even 5. 3 of the box sets are that way, but then there's also been a couple that have been just released as, you know, 2 CD packages and stuff like that. Either way, very, very cool stuff that they've been doing in this box set here. Very nice. And of course, a lot of cool little stuff in here as well. This one being a lift top, just like we saw with the Black Sabbath one. So exactly the same thing. Book. I don't think there's a tour book of any kind, but you get the poster and stuff, and the CDs are the underside of that. So that at least is the style. This seems to be a very popular one these days. Lots and lots of artists. 2 of the ones that we're talking about today come that way, but there was a lot more from this past year. Hey, we're down to the top 3 already. So coming in at number 3, 80s rock legends, Def Leppard, Pyromania, 40th anniversary, 1983, fantastic. Yes, I know it's a year off. A lot of these artists have been releasing them 1 year later. I think it has something to do with legal rights and stuff like that. But 40th anniversary of this fantastic box set. You can see all the stuff on the back side. It's a slipcase. You got the hardcover book here, and then you've got the discs in a separate cardboard thing. If you've collected the other recent Def Leppard boxes that are similar shape, it's done exactly the same way. So at least you know what you're getting as far as that's concerned. But 4 CDs, 1 Blu-ray in here. You get the album remastered, but here's where it gets interesting. You get a rarities disc of 22 tracks on it. There's an outtake of a song they've never released before called No You Can't Do That. There are 6 untitled demos, and while rough and not full-length songs, you listen to those and you go, oh my God, if they turned any one of those into a real song, it would have been awesome. So it's a little bit like Fly on the Wall because they're not, like I said, fully fleshed out songs, except that one, No You Can't Do That. That is a full song that is in here. But if that's not your thing, if you're not into outtakes and rarities and stuff like that, fly on the wall kind of stuff, don't worry, there's 2 live shows in here for you guys. You've got CD3 is live in Germany and CD4 live at the LA Forum. That one was previously released, so it is included in here. If you were like me and you bought the 20th anniversary, then you already got it. And I think it was included in the CD Volume 1 box set as well. Yes, I am a little bummed that we have to do that, but rebuy stuff. But it is nice when it comes in a package. And if you are celebrating the album and you've got shows from it, I don't mind as long as you stick other cool stuff in it, and they did. So I was loving this Def Leppard box. There's Blu-ray audio and video in here. You get the 5.1 surround sound, you get Atmos mix, you get a new stereo mix. You got instrumental versions, and that's the only thing really that's keeping this box from being higher on the list. They put instrumental versions on the Blu-ray, and they didn't give me a CD of them. I don't know what's up with that. There was a few things like that happened in these box sets where there was a remix on a Blu-ray that didn't appear on CD. And I don't really know why sometimes they choose to do that and only put it in one place and not in the other. I think it's pretty clear that most people that do CD or do Blu-ray and they don't necessarily cross over, meaning that if I'm a CD person, that I'm definitely doing Blu-ray just like the same way with vinyl. And I think you've got to cover the bases for everyone. And it really should be the same way for vinyl, because I know a lot of times there's stuff that is only put out on the CDs and not on the vinyl, and then that bums those people out. So I hope they find a nice balance at some point, but so far, not the case. All right. Moving on. Number 2, right? Number 2. Okay. Neil Young Archives Volume 3 17 CD box set looks identical to the Volume 2. I don't know if it looks identical to the Volume 1 or not, but no, it looks identical to the Volume 1. I've got the Volume 1. My Volume 2, I got a bigger one, but this one looks just like number 1. Maybe it would have looked just like number 2 if I bought the smaller version of it. It's the cool magnetic thing like that folds like this. Really inventive. I love it. And all the discs are inside like that. But lots and lots of cool unreleased material in here. I just don't know why we haven't gotten something different to call out. Like maybe Neil, one of them should have said Young, should have been something Archives, and then it could have said 1, 2, 3, 4, and however many they were doing or something. So at least you could put them all together. I thought this was going to build a picture, and then I went and I got my Volume 1, and it looks exactly the same. So I don't know what's up with the packaging, but let's talk about the killer content, because there's 17 CDs inside that box set. It spans from 76 to 87. It's my favorite era of Neil Young. Well, actually, I love the 90s era too, but I do love his weird, crazy 80s jumping around in all the different styles. There was 198 tracks on this box. 21 of them were previously unreleased, and 15 of them have never been released in any capacity whatsoever. I'd love for those 15 to just appear on one album, but defeat the purpose of this. Maybe he does it after the box set goes out of print. So Super Deluxe box set limited to 5,000 copies. I don't know what this version was limited to. And then even after that one sold out, they put a second volume of it or a second edition of it out. So, I don't know. Don't pay attention to a lot of these things. It seems like when a lot of these limited things sell out, no, we didn't really realize people were going to jump for it. Let's put another edition of it out, and they do that. So I decided I didn't need the 5 Blu-rays, which came in that Super Deluxe edition that was 5,000 copies. So I just got the 17 CDs in this one here. It was put out by Rhino Records, who always does a great job with box sets. If I see their name on it, I know I'm going to love it. And in fact, I love this box here. All right, but we've got the number 1 box set now of 2024, and it goes to, let me hold it up right, U2. So How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb came out in 2024. This was their 11th studio album, so 20 years on, we are getting the deluxe treatment. You can put it up like this, because if you do it this way, then you're actually talking about the How to Reassemble an Atomic Bomb Shadow album that has 10 unreleased songs from the sessions. And now you can hear the album in an entirely new way, because what if they had gone with these 10 songs here instead of the ones that got released? What if it had been a double album? I mean, however you want to think about it, it's very cool. My only complaint though is that the CDs themselves, there's a book in here and art prints, but you get the CDs in one of these huge cardboard things and they just sit in the cardboard part of this. There's not an individual sleeve for it so that I can take it out and have the artwork and everything like that. Yet there was individual art for that Shadow album, How to Reassemble an Atomic Bomb. And I kind of feel like the box set should have made that a presentation piece, like a CD in a jewel case, in the thing. You're getting it this way. This is how this album is being released because it is promoted as such, as a whole album, a standalone album. But if you want the CD, you got to get the box. Record Store Day put out an LP edition of it, and they said that is the only standalone edition they will be releasing of this. If you want to hear it, you can go on and stream it because it is out that way. But you get the original album remastered. They tacked on the bonus track Fast Cars to it. Then you get the Shadow album, How to Reassemble an Atomic Bomb, with 10 songs on it, 5 of them previously unreleased. Disc 3 has 11 remixes, and 4 and 5 is live in Chicago from 2005. That's the same as the DVD that had been released. So they just pulled the audio and released that. And I like that because I love the show, but I really wondered why the DVD wasn't in here and or why there wasn't a Blu-ray included, although I'm glad because the price of this was already pretty pricey just for the 5 CDs that were in here with no Blu-ray or anything like that already in it. It was a bit pricey to get this, but I am glad that it was just CDs. I didn't have to pay for that Blu-ray. I didn't have to pay for that LP. And because there was an entire album of unreleased, in my mind, unreleased music, it was a standalone album. That sold me right then and there. This whole box set shot to the top of the charts for me, and that's why this one is the #1 box set of 2024 in my opinion. And I want all other bands out there in the world to take note, put out killer archival stuff, but make sure that it has unreleased studio material in it for us diehard fans. We're the ones that are buying these boxes and getting these and trying to find space in our music rooms for it. But U2 did it right. Def Leppard did it right. White Snake did it right. All these bands, these top 10 box sets did it right. But there you go. That is my countdown of the top 10 best box sets of 2024. Let me know what box set you think is the #1 box set. Is it one of the 10 that I have here? Is it a different one that you chose to pick up that became #1 for you? Let me know which one it is. All right, everyone. Take care. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye.